Greetings, users and programs. This is Etari Living Sacrifice continuing the tour of Egypt with Assassin's Creed Origins.
Welcome to Alexandria, City of Celebration.
Celebrate!
Like most Greek cities, Alexandria offered multiple forms of entertainment. Most were related to cults, religious practices, and the festivities surrounding those practices. Among those festivities, the most important ones were the dynastic celebrations, instituted in honor of the deified Ptolemaic kings and queens. These celebrations could go on for many days and included sacrifices, offerings, processions, and public banquets.
What are they over here celebrating? Singing some crazy songs, aren't you? That's quite a dress you got on there, Missy. It's like gold. Ooh, she been drinking the crazy stuff. What is it with her eyes? Whoa! Got a little man nipple there. She looks crazy. Glass-eyed. Glassy-eyed.
How shall I say brightly shine? Games and competitions were organized whenever possible in locations such as the stadium, the hippodrome, and the gymnasium. The residents of Alexandria
Get down, old lady,
favored such
get down.
events, where athletes, poets, and musicians from Egypt and other cities of the Greek world competed.
Is this a plate? Vase with figures in red. That old lady getting down. She getting down. She looks like she's about to fight there. She's got two flutes. She's blowing two flutes.
Like all good Greek cities, Alexandria had a theater. The architecture of this structure is Roman in style. This is because the team duplicated a theater from Cyrene.
Oh,
Roman theaters
Cyrene.
were usually semicircular and built from scratch on a flat area with structures designed to enhance oration. Greek theaters were more oblong in shape, similar to a horseshoe, and favored the slopes of natural hills to support their acoustics.
How do you do the behind the scenes thing? I thought that... Huh.
At the theater, one could witness the plays of contemporary comic and tragic authors. The play you are witnessing below is Menander's Dyskolos, more commonly known as the Grouch, a late and popular entry in the Greek comedies.
Oh, is that the one that they had in the game? Yeah, we saw this one in the game. Yay! Nope, maybe not. We're not going to hear what they're saying, though? Can we get in the middle of that? We're dancing! We're dancing! See my dance? Alright, enough of that nonsense. Enough of that craziness. Education in Alexandria.
Welcome to Education in Alexandria. The education of young Alexandrians did not differ from the one generally dispensed elsewhere in ancient Greece. At the age of 7, the child was taken in charge by a tutor, who then became responsible for instilling an elementary education as well as good moral principles.
Oh, did he just show them a spanking? Whoops, I wanted to see this.
The education of young Alexandrians did not differ from the one generally dispensed elsewhere in ancient Greece. At the age of 7, the child was taken in charge by a tutor, who then became responsible for instilling an Teaching was generally done outside, in the open air.
Cool.
In the gymnasium, students were taught not only sports, but also topics such as rhetoric, philosophy, music, and poetry. All things deemed essential to one's education at the time. Here, both girls and boys are shown attending a class given by one of the rhetoricians of the era. The team made the choice to show both genders attending class within the context of the game world. Even though it is historically inaccurate, the team felt it was not necessary to prioritize historical sexism over inclusive gameplay.
Okay. No need to be historically accurate. Probably don't agree with that. I want to know the history. But, I mean, we've got Aya. But, that was their choice, not mine.
Welcome to the Great Library of Alexandria. Near the district of royal palaces and within the Moseon was the most famous library of all antiquity. The Library of Alexandria was built to house all of human knowledge. At its pinnacle, the library was believed to contain over 700,000 parchments.
That is crazy. That is huge. I think those are snakes up there. Snakes!
Throughout the centuries, fires and wars between Christianity and paganism destroyed the library, leaving nothing behind. The loss of the building, and more importantly, its vast collection, is immeasurable. As no descriptions are available, the team's rendition of the Library of Alexandria was inspired by the visuals of the Library of Chalcis at Ephesus.
Interesting. And seashells. It was inspired by seashells.
While much of the collection was purchased at the government's expense, the library also obtained books through other means. Any books owned by travelers coming through the city were seized to be copied for the library. The copy would then be returned to the owner, and the original entered into the library's collection.
Oh, really? That's harsh. Can we not walk faster in here? We must walk slow, eh? What's this?
Alexandria offered unrivaled intellectual and cultural attractions. Eminent scholars from Athens, Rhodes, and other Greek centers traveled to the city to learn and engage with other free thinkers. Both the Moseon and the library were at the center of groundbreaking ideas and creative expression. The great minds of antiquity were usually well versed in many disciplines, which were often associated to specific schools of thought. The Peripatetics, the Stoics, and the Cynics were among the most well-known schools of the time. It is clear that Alexandria lived up to its fundamental role as a city for intellectuals, nurturing many great minds whose impact reverberates through our modern world.
Is that where somebody would be walking? What are they? They're paying attention to them seashells.
Hypatia of Alexandria was a Greek mathematician, philosopher, astronomer, and inventor. Though born in Greece, she eventually migrated to Alexandria, like many great minds of the time. It is there that she became the head of the Neoplatonist school of Alexandria. From most accounts, she was highly respected by her fellow Alexandrians, both as a teacher and a philosopher. With her death, the age of great ancient scientific discoveries came to an end.
So women were educated. Why did they make it seem like they were making a stand?
Callimachus was born in Cyrene and educated in Athens. After his studies, he moved to Alexandria to work in the Great Library. A poet and a critic, he strongly rejected the epic format of Homeric poems, and instead fervently supported a shorter, more judiciously formulated style of poetry. His epigrams and elegiac poems were emulated by later poets. His work was extremely popular, second only to Homer's own works.
He liked Homer's. That is cool. That is awesome.
It was in Alexandria that mathematician Euclid, the father of geometry, wrote the Elements, laying out the foundational work of what would become modern algebra and number theory. Euclidean geometry would become one of the most influential systems in the evolution of mathematics.
Math.
How do you calculate the circumference of the Earth? With a camel, 2 sticks, and shadows cast by the sun. This is what Eratosthenes of Cyrene described in his principal work, Geography, while he was director of the Great Library of Alexandria. He is credited for the invention of the armillary spear around 250 BCE.
What's the Amarylli spear? Are they gonna tell us? Okay, Google. What's the Amarylli spear? Here
are some results from the web.
Yes, I meant Amarylli spear. A model of the celestial globe constructed from rings and hoops representing the equator, the tropics, and other celestial circles, and able to revolve on its axis. Oh, that thing. Nope.
The earliest known and most complete armillary sphere of antiquity was the Meteoroscopion of Alexandria, with an imposing 9 rings compared to the 3 or 4 of most other astrolabes. Known as the zodiac krikatoi amongst the Greeks, the Meteoroscopion was used to determine the location of celestial bodies around the Earth. Every self-respecting astronomer of antiquity would have sought to use this tool to better understand the celestial movements.
How did I not see this in the game? Known as the Emerald Sphere to the Romans, this observational device determines the locations of celestial bodies around the Earth, the spheric center of the universe. The position is fixed by corresponding the latitude and meridian rings to the position of the sun or a star. Very interesting.
Pythagoras of Samos was a well-known and respected philosopher and mathematician. He is best known for the Pythagorean theorem. However, there is proof that the theorem existed in Babylonia and India long before Pythagoras was born, casting some doubts as to who exactly originated the theorem.
In right-angled triangles, the figure on the side opposite the right angle equals the sum of the similarly described figures on the sides containing the right angle. A plus B equals C or something like that. So, I think that's another fantastic place to pause it, y'all. As always, give it a big thumbs up, subscribe, and we will see you on the next one. And remember to keep moving forward!